So in the previous one, we hosted our website on Vercel. In this one, we are going to add a theme toggle. Mostly be having a dark color scheme. So I have some styles already written. You can get it from the repository. In root, I have defined some colors, and when there is an attribute present, data theme equals dark, then those colors will be changing, but the body uses those colors. So what happens here is initially, it will be normal, but when you add that attribute data theme equals dark, this color scheme changes, right? Now it's fairly easy to achieve this. You can just make a button, and on click you can set the attribute, and it'll work. The tricky part is persisting it. Now when I say persist, when you refresh or when you navigate to some other page, the color scheme should remain and it should not flash the other color scheme, right? For this particular case, using local storage or session storage may not be that good because they are only accessible on mount. They are not accessible to the server itself. Now, if something is accessible to the server, then we can provide the site on that color scheme. So that is why we are going to use cookies here. So when there is a cookie set, that will be accessible on every single request, and we will look into hooks. There are functions that can look into the request, every single request, and based on that they can respond. So now let's understand what cookie is. You can read about it in MDN. Let me look into application and cookies. Okay, so this has some cookies which is I think added by Google Analytics, but demos also have some cookies already, because since this is a cookie exercise, I think it has added some things. Okay, you have to keep one thing in mind, that when cookies are present, it can be accessible by the server because it comes along with the request. So whenever you make a request, your cookies will go along, so that way server can read it. Okay, so let's see how to use that. First thing is, let's have a toggle which is a basic JavaScript toggle. So let me go to somewhere like navbar. Yeah, let's go to navbar, and here we have some menus, right? And we want a toggle right there. So what I will do is, after each loop I will have an li. I will also have an a tag, which I don't want it to go anywhere, so I'll have a hash here. So, this is how you add a hash or in Svelte, so that it doesn't throw an accessibility error. Okay, so after that I will have something like okay, now it is light mode, I'll just have dark. Okay, I'll have one more. See, you should be using a single one which will do which will switch based on which mode you are and which mode you clicked on. But in this case, I'm gonna do something like this. Okay, so now let's look at it. Okay, dark and light, so there are two of them. Okay, that's good. So let's add on click to them. On click, we'll make it run a function, set theme or something, and we will pass a value, a string value here. For dark, we'll add dark. For light, we'll add this light. Now this function is not there, so I'm gonna add that function here somewhere. I usually like to keep reactive statements at the bottom so that I can easily quickly see them. So I'm gonna add the function here, set theme equals. Okay, so it gets the theme, right? Whether it is light or dark. Now we have to add this attribute here to the HTML tags. The way to access HTML tag is by document document element, and that would be our HTML, and we can add dot dataset. We can access that data.theme. something like this. Okay, equals, we can set it to theme. Okay, this should be it, I think. So if I go and apply dark, it will apply dark color scheme. Light, it will apply light color scheme. So that's it. So that was like one single line. But yeah, so how do we persist this? So this is the tricky part. Okay, and eventually when we figure out persistence and everything, we'll make sure these are not two buttons, two separate things. There will be a single icon or something, and then we can make sure when we click on one, the other shows up. So something of that sort. Okay, for now this is fine. Now along with this, we also set a cookie which will say what the current color scheme is. Okay, so it's pretty easy to do it if you go through the documents here. So it says document.cookie equals new cookie. So new cookie should be in key equals value format. So we'll see. Now this one will do something like in quotes maybe site theme equals something like dark. But here I don't want dark, I want theme. So I'll have string literals, or template literals is what they call it. Okay, I'll have theme here. Now when I let's say if I open the cookie window as well, if I go to application here, I have application and here cookie. If I click this, it should have yeah, so when I refresh, it gets the dark one. If I click on light and refresh here, it gets, it changes to light. Okay, that is good. But you will need a few more things to make it work properly. One is the expiry, right? So it shouldn't expire right away. So usually what happens is, if you don't define any expiry, it won't have, it says session. So when I refresh, it's gone, I think. So if I refresh here, no, it's still there, but it doesn't persist for long. So in order to do that, we should have an expiry, or I think max age is also fine. Yeah, max age in seconds. So we can use that. So let's do that. Max age equals, and here I'll zoom this in a little bit. This is quite hard to read. Okay. Now here it says in seconds. We have to define that in seconds, and they have made a calculation, and this is for a year. So we'll keep that as is for a year. So now what happens? Our cookie will be valid for a year. It only expires after a year. So it's quite long. That's enough. And another thing is, the cookie that will be set on different pages, let's say on about, it'll be kind of different. Like the cookie will be different. Now you see in about page, I don't have that cookie. So that is because we have another thing called, I think it's path. I think we saw it here. Yeah, path. So we have to define, which path. Example, like, maybe we should define the home, as the path. Otherwise, it will take the path that is in the URL right now. So for the entire site, we want this, to be a singular cookie. So we'll define path equals /. So this way, it's it'll be everywhere. So yes. So now you see site theme light. If I go to services, then also this will be there. Okay. So expiry is also there, and also it will also be there in all pages. So yeah. So let me remove that for a while and click on it. Now it has set it. I see it here. And if I make this smaller and see the expiry, and it is on 2024. Okay, so this is good. And also path is like /, which is also good. Okay, so this is it. Now once this is done, on every single request, this cookie will be there. Now we don't have to worry about the security of this cookie. Like does it have to be secure? There are options like you can make it secure. Only in HTTPS path you can access. I mean, only in HTTPS you can access it, and also there is also HTTP only, which says you can only access it in the server side, not on the front end. That is, I don't think that is necessary at this moment. We'll ignore that for now. But yeah, for now we have set the cookie, which is site theme. Now, how do we persist, right? So that is the question. Now, to persist this, we'll make sure we will have a hooks function here, hooks.server.js. So this file is what is gonna look into all the every single request. Okay, so there are two of them. One is client and one is server. So the one we are using is server because we want the changes to happen on server side so that it doesn't flash the wrong color scheme. Okay, hooks. Yeah, so this is how we use in handle function. We can actually write one. So export const handle. Maybe this is an asynchronous function, and yeah, it's an event and resolve, I think. If I'm not wrong, I could have copy pasted it. It's okay. So I would like to write it, and also we'll resolve the response. Await resolve the event, I think, and then we return the response. Right. This is how normal hooks. I mean, this will do nothing. Like nothing will change. I can maybe console log our event dot cookies. I think it's cookies. I'm not quite sure. Dot get our site theme. I'm not quite sure if that is the one. So let me refresh here. Yeah, that is the one. Good. Okay, so what I can do is I can make it const theme equals. Okay. Okay, now I have the theme assigned as, whichever the color scheme we used. The next part is we have to add this. What was that? What is the error here? Okay, so that was the error. Okay, now we have to add data theme equals something. So we'll have something initially, data dash theme. We'll not have anything here. We'll have it empty so that replacing becomes easy. So in hooks, what we're doing is actually replacing something into something. So there is this transform. I think I should get the type so that I will get this function. Okay, so let me add this here at the top. Okay, now here after event there is something called transform page chunk, right? That how do we use it? Where is it? Yeah, HTML string. Okay, so there is an example also. HTML.replace. So yeah, let me write that HTML, and here HTML.replace old and new. So here the old value that we want to find is data hyphen theme equals okay, empty. So I'll have single quotes outside instead of double. Where is single quotes? Okay, this. Okay, this. We want to replace this with we want template literals now. Data dash theme equals quotes and inside theme. Right. So this should replace it on every single request. Now let's see if that happens. Here I was in dark mode, I think. Now if I refresh, I'm still in dark mode. And yeah, so things are working fine. So let me remove this. Okay. Refresh. Okay, now I'm in light theme. So if I go here, light theme persists. If I click dark theme, and now I'm in dark theme, and I can navigate, and there is no flash of this white theme on me, so it's quite useful. So that's how simple persisting dark mode is. So I think this was useful. So why I recommend this is to, like, get used to the handle function where you get the cookies and do something with it. This is really useful when we implement authentication. So yeah, guys, so that was it. Our theme toggle is ready. Regarding the changes here, having it as a icon or single button, I will do that in my spare time. So yeah, so that's it for this one, guys. Hit like and also subscribe. Bye bye.